timer is on. So I want to praise Vitor, Fabio, Wesley, and all the other devs and non-dev, Mitch and Lauren, and all the people who've been working so hard to make this whole proposal dashboard and this whole process go. It's just been incredible and so cool. So a special praise to Wesley and Juan again for fixing that bug last week. That was really critical. Major praise to Nate, Mitch, and Juan and myself for working on the forum post that Mitch just posted. Super fun voting pamphlet kind of forum post. Also want to praise Zepp and Sem for checking in with me on how I'm doing and just being all around sweethearts, looking out for the rest of the team. I want to praise Paulo for his rockstar work, diving into all the smart contracts and getting everything working in Aragon. It's a lot of work, a lot of like really intense focused work. So that's great. I want to praise Gabby for launching Gardens on Rinkeby. It's out. So that's really major. It makes our life a lot easier later on. And I'll pass to Chewy. Chewy? Okay, I'll pass to Mitch.
Thanks, Griff. I'm just writing out my praise now, but we'll do it on the fly. Praise Griff for being the best cheerleader and keeping things moving forward. Praise to Chewy for really moving into his role as a comms leader. Praise Nate, Lauren, Wonka, myself, and there's someone else I'm forgetting for working on the TEC video storyboard. And I will pass it to Suga.
Thank you. I would like to praise Mitch. I get so nervous when I do this, I forget my reasons. I'll just praise them. Mitch, Ivy, Chewy, Griff, Tan, Livia, and Dan, and also Craig, and also Juan Carlos. And I'll pass it to Lauren.
I'm sorry, just for your 30 seconds, it would be really good to say what it's for, otherwise they won't get very many points.
Praise, yeah, so Griff for being a great, wonderful presence, very great vibes. Ivy helping me on the with onboarding, and Mitch on the blog, and Craig on the blog, and Dan with the Trusted Seed, and Chewy helping me with some stuff in comms, and Tania for constant support.
Did you pass it? I missed it.
I think
sorry.
she initially passed it to me, so I'm just gonna take it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to praise Chewy, Nate, Metaverde, Sam, and Zepti for working on the hatch site text. And also I want to praise whoever worked on that blog post. I guess Mitch, with like some feedback from other people. Anyway, that was cool. I just like read it in the Hat Committee. It's looking really great. And I want to praise also Wonka for delegating some stuff for the gravity to Livy and Durgadas, so he's taking time for himself, and I'm super glad about that. I love when people take time for themselves. That should always be praised. And yeah, pass it to Zepti.
Thank you, Lauren. Yeah, I want to dish praise to Juan and Levy for the gravity work they were doing. Also want to dish praise to Sam because fixing major bugs on the contract. I want to dish praise to the comms team, Mitch, Lauren, Chewy. There is a lot of work, Manu, there is a lot of work, there is a lot of mini calls they're doing syncing, but there's also a lot of work they're doing back in the back. So thank you guys. And I also want to dish praise to Tam because you're Tam. But yeah, passing to bye.
I'd like to praise Katie and Tam for the onboarding message and keeping on track on the onboarding issues.
We lost you,
but they
bye.
are awesome.
You're back.
Okay. I'd like to praise some people. I don't know all of them, but I just like to praise all of them. I'd like to praise Manu, Mark, Giselle, and
Ooh.
We can't hear you very well.
okay, I'll just type my praise.
Okay, yeah, type the praise. Don't be shy. There's so many ways to praise here, but I'll pass it to you. I'll pass it to Sean.
Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well. Praise this week, I checked out Token Log, so I don't know exactly who's been working on getting the Token Log voting for Params up, but it looks awesome. I know Juan's had a lot to do, so praise Juan I was looking at some of those proposals on there, which I think look awesome, and I just started looking in the last couple of days, but it's just blows me away, the amount of work that's gone into this. So good job everyone involved with that, and I'll pass it back to you, Griff.
Great. I'll try to pass Chewy.
Yes. 30 seconds this week, huh? Okay. I want to praise Juan Carlos because gravity. Like, yeah. I want to praise Griff for his leadership. I want to praise Craig for all of his support during comms meetings. I want to praise Lauren, Nate, and Mitch for all of their feedback in the content that we're putting together. I also want to praise Tam for her enormous support and just like being there always. And I want to praise Septi because also just transparency has made a lot of sense this week and like with the stages that we're going through. So yeah, I think that's it. Unless I can praise someone else. Do I still have time? Okay, I want to praise. I want to praise Katie and Meta Verde for being awesome and always supporting comms and just like any like crazy idea that I have. Thanks for that. And okay, I'll pass it to Sam.
Hello, everyone. And he has a lot of interest in how DAOs work in the legal space, and we need that. And I am really impressed with how he's dealing with it. So thank you. I don't know who is left.
Nice. Sam, could you help me praise the gardens people? Who's working on gardens?
It's working. Gabi, Fabri, Abby, Paulo, are you here? Well, Paulo also worked with them this week. And Rodri.
Great. Yeah, and I can pass it for you. I'll pass it to Metaverde. Thanks, Sam.
Hey, let's see how the video works. Oh, nope, it's not gonna let me connect my video. Okay, fine. I would like to praise, or am I on video? Okay. It says video connected. That's kind of weird. Okay, so Chewy, for the work that he's done, like reaching out to One Hive and putting content together and writing so much stuff out. You, Griff, I noticed that you weren't in a couple of meetings, and congratulations for doing that. It is very important. I haven't been around a lot the last couple of weeks, so I'm just going to run down the list of people here. And then Wonka, of course, for the gravity and for being patient with me when I give him the Raz. Lauren, for I'm not even going to remember what it was that you wrote out, Lauren, that I was looking at in the content call the other day, but it was absolutely beautiful. You wrote it out so beautifully. Livia, I'm sure you're doing things. Mehig, I don't know you. I apologize. Mitch, I apologize. Nate held down the fort when you guys were going over making sure all of the proposals were perfectly written and presented. And I saw that even after I got off the call, like during the whole time that was allotted for that, there was Nate sitting there on the call. Nate was there. Thank you, Nate. Santi for the legal. Congratulations.
Santi, but we gotta pass it when we hit our minute.
30 seconds? Did I go that fast?
It was a minute, yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Who do you want to pass it to?
I don't think Tam's gone. Tam, have you gone?
No, I haven't gotten it. Thanks, Metaverde. Okay, I have a lot and I hope I make it through them all. I'd like to praise Joe Z because he's made these amazing visual explainers and he's never here because he has a full-time job and a full life. So I hope everyone can praise him too. Jeff, for your devotion to scientific inquiry, your thoughtfulness, consideration, kindness. There's no one else like you. Livia, always being so grounding and grounding all of us. Christopher, your impressive show as dev lead. Chewy, your work ethic, humility, lucid thinking, and passion, and everyone in the comms team for really just the amazing initiatives you guys have made. YGG, Zargum, and Octopus, and all of Octopus's students for the enthusiasm you guys have all showed in rolling up your sleeves and diving into this praise data. Vi, you take on so much. You always say yes, and then you always do such a good job. Amazing. Katie, onboarding, writing, editing. You keep doing more and more and more. Sam, we had a really deep, lovely conversation. We haven't done that in many weeks, and I think we should do that more often. Hannah has taken on so much, and she's shown such initiative already, even though she's very new. Nate, your calm and thoughtfulness always makes me calm and thoughtful. Eduardo, for taking on the lead to reaching out to people that have impact hours that haven't activated their trusted seed, and just always being genuine in your thoughts and actions. And Griff, you're such a great human being, and you're always bringing high vibes. And I will pass to Griff to pass.
Cool. Craig. Oh, we can't hear you, Craig. Then I'll throw it to, I'll give Craig a sec. Okay, throwing it to Juan.
Thanks, Griff. This week I want to praise Tam, Septimus, Chewy, Griff, Libby, Metaverde, because Didan, Durgadas, and Nate, because like with all of you, like I have been having like calls related to gravity, and I feel that all your contributions to the project are super valuable, and also to Mount Manu. And I also want to praise all the people who is participating in the Impact Hour distribution discussion and dialogue, because we are I really appreciate for you to trust in dialogue and to trust in the capacity of having an open conversation, and to respect different points of view and to integrate polarities, so that we can all have the best overall feeling that we can have for the hatch. And so yes, I really appreciate this discussion, and I am super happy and super responsible in the place of facilitating it. And I will pass to Mihai.
Thanks, Juan. I'll praise Septimus for very good Param explanations, Tam for introducing me here, and Suga for really good onboarding. I want to praise Chris, if possible, for helping with feedback on the project, and Dan to keep doing a good job with the trusted seed and bringing more cool people. Livia for helping me set up the voting system and actually being able to vote. Yay! And Manu for offering to help me make things more clear. And Griff for taking the time to hear everyone in the group and make sure that decisions are being taken without wasting a lot of time. So yeah, thanks. I will pass it on to I think Lauren hasn't left, or Santi.
Santi.
Thank you. I want to just praise all the people who met on Sunday to go over the discussion of impact hours and how to deal with the data science that we're putting into. I also want to give this praise to Jeff and to start that conversation on the blog post, and to Jessica, who's also communicating all the progress on that. I also want to give praise to YGG for his amazing work in that aspect. I want to give praise by B, Craig, Mateo, Livia, and me for the SourceGrid group. I want to give praise Tam, Zeptimus, and Edu for approaching me and listen to me or ask for my opinion on the impact hour, discussion that we're having. I also want to give praise Sean for legal. All the tech team for the amazing work they've been doing. It's just incredible. And I want to give praise Griff for all the time he's put it into the impact tower praise system, and the hours and time he's put it to try to be fair on that. And finally, Meraverde for reminding me about Tam. Thank you.
Okay, and then I'll pass it to Livy.
Thanks. I want to praise Griff, Katie, Tamara, Zaptimus, and Juanca for their work with the runoff for Params. Also praise Nate for summarizing this process so well. Praise Atta for his consistency in the case studies. Praise Juanca for leading gravity cases this week, a few of them. Praise Jess and Angela for coordinating the praise data analysis, and Jeff for starting to look at it, and Zargam for his insights on how to look at algorithms, and YGG and Sam for working so much on it. Also Octopus for sharing data insights and bringing his students into it. I praise Sam for so much attention, care, and sensitivity when it comes to sense making, and praise Solsista for the TE Academy, and Federico Bonelli for the amazing Lagrange mastery he's offering. And I'm passing to Nate.
Hey. I want to praise first. I want to praise Mitch, Juan, Griff, for the work they did on, and Suga for the work that they did on the voting pamphlets for the proposals. I want to praise Wonka and DDAN and decentralized SDGs for the work that they're doing with the gravity survey, which is super awesome. I want to praise Craig for the HubSpot. I wanted to praise Chewy for all the enthusiasm you bring to the comms and just getting people excited and motivated about the work they're doing in comms. I want to praise Tam for all the guidance that she gives to this community, and I want to praise Livy for all the work that you do in the background that I feel like goes unnoticed a lot of times, but it's there and I see it and I recognize it, and so thank you for all that you do, Livy. And that's it. And I'll pass it to I guess we have Nick left, but yeah. So I'll pass to Nick. Oh wait, Nick left.
Oh, did Nick go?
I think so.
Looks like we lost Nick, but Craig still has to go. Craig, did you get your mic going?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll praise Caesar for all the legal work. Praise Griff for all the work. And praise Ivy for transcribing and capturing all of the praise. Back to you.
+1.
Yeah, no kidding. We need to praise Ivy like 20 million times for keeping track of all of our praise. Jeez. Well, and there's a lot of praise to be given every time. Oh, better kill this thing before it makes noises. So if you want more praise, because who doesn't want more praise, jump into the TEC Discord channel. Well, you're probably all on the Discord, obviously, but definitely also jump into the Telegram channel. It's t.me/, oh, it doesn't have the link there, but t.me/TE praise. And if you add your handle into that channel, then it's a lot easier to dish you praise on Telegram. And we all love praise. So welcome to the community call. I'll be facilitating, and as always, Wonka will be helping me with moderation. Remember that if you have any issues, if you feel like something could be better in our community, you feel like the relational fabric has got a little tiny tear or a big tear, however you want, please tell us about it. Give us your perspective. We have a signal aggregation approach for community design and community input and mutual monitoring methods. And this is like a major piece of that. So if you click here in our notes, you can see the gravity type form. You can just tell us, hey, I saw something weird happening over here, or things feel a little off with somebody. Tell us, please, and then we can. We have 17 gravitons that are here to help. So let's make this relationship the fabric of our community stronger. Now, the biggest news, of course, is that we are picking our parameters. This is a historic moment for humanity. There's never been an economy that's ever been designed from the bottom up. Period. End of story. There's never been an open discussion about what parameters to choose. And this is the first one. Oh, and it says 0 for some reason. But there we go. So we got some votes going on. Tell us which ones you like. Please go on Token Log and vote, and we'll talk more about that soon in the parameters section. But with that, actually, we'll just start the working groups party, and we'll send it over to Tam. Tam, you want to tell us about community stewards?
Yes, with pleasure. Are you sharing the deck? Because I'm not going to share anything this time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. Thanks. All right, so awesome. So we are in sprint 10. This is our 10th sprint together through the end of next week. And we invite everyone to come hang out with the stewards while we do any of our Scrum activities. So if we're doing the sprint planning or the sprint retrospective, please feel free to jump in and join us. They are on the calendar, and you're definitely welcome to come. And then the next one is for the roadmap. All right, so we have key dates coming up. It is next Tuesday. That is the close date for the runoff of the Params. And most importantly is saying we are still planning to hatch in sprint 11, but we will hatch when we're ready to hatch. We are so close. I think everyone can feel it. The stewards have put together a launch checklist that we're using, like a rocket ship shuttle launch to greenlight the hatch. And we have lots of things that are still we want to make sure we get exactly right. So any changes to our roadmap will be announced here. Progress towards the hatch is, the same as last week, over 90 hatchers and 400K in soft commitments, because we're not doing as much hatcher outreach individually anymore. I don't know if these numbers are going to change. So with that, all of the interesting things happen in all of the working groups. So let's get that started. I'll pass to Santi with legal.
Thank you, Tom. Well, the interesting thing here is that we have a frozen slide here because we're done with most of the work on legal working group. We're so done that we're not going to be having a meeting tomorrow. We've started going bi-weekly, so no meeting next Friday, and the next meeting is going to be next week. All of the documents that we need for the hatch and post-hatch have been finalized. We are just missing the final params voting to integrate those parameters into those documents, and we will be dealing with any additional legal issue that we might encounter as we move forward. So I invite you to join, not this Friday, but next one, 4 p.m. Central European time. And with that, I'll pass it to Juan Carlos for gravity.
Thanks, Santi. Well, today we have our call after this call, our weekly call, and it's great because Gravity, this working group, is also a safe space to express different opinions. So I invite everyone who is like engaged with the discussion that we're having around the impact hours to please join that call, because we're going to be openly talking about this and having like an exercise to try to integrate polarities. So yeah, besides that, yeah, we are trying to provide conflict management to this organization and to the DAO ecosystem. And yeah, we did trainings. We are still planning to do trainings. We need to keep empowering gravitons. And right now we are having this survey, which we are finishing it because we want to have like a research and to test our hypothesis around the beliefs that we have of the needs of conflict management in DAOs, and also to compare that with the results of the survey to see how can we improve, to see what are the needs, to see, yeah. So, and the spoiler for the intro question that we will have is, how often do you like to experience change or enjoy going out of your comfort zone? Yeah, that's a very personal question, and we all have a different relationship with change. We sometimes are more there are people that always like to order the same dish, and there are people that likes to go to different restaurants every time. So it's important to know that we have all kinds of people in the community, and it's safe to express. And that's why we have the meme of the escape bulb in a pressure cooker, because like, yeah, if the temperature is boiling, we should be ready for like to have, yeah, escape valves, so that the steam doesn't make any like bad reaction. Invite everyone to the call, and I pass to Hatcher Outreach.
Cool. There's also some people who like to go to different restaurants but always order the same dish. So there's three kinds of people. All right, cool. Hatcher Outreach. So the important thing from Hatcher Outreach is your impact hours. Everyone in here, I'm sure, has already activated their trusted seed, so it doesn't apply to us. But there are people that have earned impact hours and have not yet activated their trusted seed. Eduardo is going to lead the charge on making sure people that have impact hours and haven't activated their trusted seed know that that's the next step, because after the hatch, they will no longer be able to claim the impact hours if they have not activated their trusted seed. So it's super important. And, you know, I've been talking about how we're trying to simplify complexity, and I'm really excited to give everyone here a sneak preview of the explainers, the visual explainers that we'll be sharing liberally next week. Okay, so here's the two-phase approach process. You know, it sounds complex when we were step 3, submit, vote, fund, and then submit, vote, and launch. So there is also sort of like very clearly anyone can submit configuration parameters, TEC holders and impact hours can vote on the trusted seed. We've already done this once. We've done this twice, actually. We're going to do it for the third time. And then our next step is going to be to fund before the hatch. And then we'll do the same thing for the Commons upgrade configuration parameters. So it just makes it super clean and easy to read. And when the TCE is actually live, this is what it's going to look like. There are some minor changes that we need to do to this, but it is sort of being user tested to make sure the clarity of its message transcends people who have intimate knowledge of what the TEC is. So I've been asking people who don't know what the TEC is to also tell me if they can read it. And what else can I say? We meet, if you have any questions about the hatch or hatching, we meet every Thursday at 1 p.m. Feel free to jump on the Hatcher Outreach channel, and Eduardo and I, or Eduardo or I, will be happy to answer any questions you have. And I'll pass to Eduardo to talk a little bit about projects.
Thank you, Tam. And as Tam mentioned, if anyone that is here on the call or knows anyone that hasn't activated Trusted Seed, just let me know and we can have a call to walk through if you need help with doing so. So basically on proposals, we are on reaching out to just checking on proposals that has been submitted, and if you know any proposal that show interest or you think it's aligned with our values, let me know so I can do I reach out just to present the project and so on. So that's what we are doing right now. We are sort of keeping everyone informed, and we are doing that this week. So I will pass it on to Libby.
Thank you. So in SoftGov this week, we are supporting two big things that are happening. One is the Params runoff and all of the votes that we're having on token log, and we're going to be hosting some parties, voting parties, to understand what are all the submissions, to look more into it, to have like space for critical thinking together, and be able to like talk about it, debate, solve questions, and then have a more informed vote. And also supporting the praise and impact hour analysis that is happening. So really cool that the TEC labs took this on. YGG and Sam are looking at it, and now there's a whole crew of token engineers coming to support. And I think something important to say is that there's a lot of people who have no skin in the game looking into it, so there's no biased there are a lot of people that are looking into it that have no bias at all because they don't have impact hours. So the next session, it's going to be this Sunday, and another one is going to happen next week that is still about to be confirmed, but it's most likely going to be on Tuesday at the same time as the Sunday session. And then on the source cred side, we and last thing about the analysis is that this is also another path of having informed information to have informed decisions after. So a community vote will be brought up, but for us to even be decision ready, we have to have information into how to shape this decision, how to shape these votes that are going to follow this. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out and we can talk about this. And then in the source cred side, we decided that it was a bad time to do this distribution and impact hours because we didn't want to add another input to the data source that is not only praise. So we're gonna do this distribution using wrapped XDI just to test that everything is working fine. And Sam donated 10 wrapped XDI to us. Thanks, Sam. And we're gonna be so that's gonna happen on next Tuesday. Hopefully, if everything goes right. And also next Tuesday, the voting ends. So please, everyone, go vote and come to the SoftGov on Tuesday if you want to see the results in firsthand. And also we have AMA calls every Wednesday. So they've been very quiet. I don't know if this because people don't know about it. Maybe we need to put it out there a little bit more. But this space is there for anyone that has questions about the TEC. And Katie has been doing an amazing work onboarding people and helping in these first steps of the journey. And with that, I'll pass to transparency.
Thanks, Libby. On transparency, this week we're working on the data access for the platforms. That it's almost done. And now we have to do a work session just to make it more cute. And it's going to be on the Gitbook. Yeah, it's that. If you want to open it, the document, but it's a bit ugly now. The access document, Griff. Yeah, we were also, as always, keeping the YouTube updated, and yeah, we meet bi-weekly, and next Monday we have a call, Monday 3 p.m. CET, and I'll pass it to Omega.
Yeah, Omega is also bi-weekly, and we haven't had more updates since last week, but just if anybody doesn't know, Omega is a research group for the ethos and ethics of token engineers. Next session will be next Wednesday, so come over if you're curious about it. And I'll pass to comms.
Thank you, Libby. Hi, everyone. We at the comms group have our working group on Tuesday, but we have a bunch of stuff going on. We have content workshops. We have the Hatch campaign hack session. So every time as the Hatch gets closer, we are opening more spaces like this so we can work on our content. And also, if there's like a need in any graphic content or any kind of that stuff, feel free to approach us. And also, if you want to like proofread something like an article or like a blog post that you're gonna do, please come forward. We're here to help you with that. This week, we're gonna have the Params run-up vote, so we're gonna be very, very focused in promoting this as much as we can. Ivy and I have been going through Twitter, like how it's gonna work, how we can optimize it, and we're very confident that we're gonna see like some difference in the next days. We have the content workshops on Mondays and Thursdays, and these are in the TEC calendar. So if you're curious to see what goes on, feel free to come to one of these. We are working very hard around our video content. We have an interview video that Manu has been working on. If you want to follow up on this, it's number 310 in the coordination repo. In the next weeks, so we're gonna migrate like fully to the content and distribution repo for everything that is gonna be getting out. And the other production that we're taking care of is the Hatch animated spot. We also have some of these scripts, which some of you have been helping out correcting and just proofreading. That's number 55 in the content and distribution repo. And also, we have our Hatch front-end text, which we're working on. As you know, as you can see in the Hatch demo, we have a video and then we have a text below it. So we've been very, very engaged in discussion with how we can optimize and take the most out of this content and motivate people that drop by the Hatch landing page so they can contribute. Well, that's it for comms. Also, Harsh is here. He's been working in like a small like animation. So he has like some sound issues and can't like participate, but he's gonna be posting what he worked on in the community hall. So yeah, feel free to comment on it. We're gonna see like how we can have more of this content just to be supporting some of other stuff. So simple like graphic content or animations are very, very welcome. And yeah, that's it for comms. Thank you very much. And I'll pass it to Params.
Cool, I'll take it. Yeah, Params, this is the big week. This is kind of the closing of a major milestone for Params, so we're really excited. It feels really, really good. And I hope that you all can be like a very active part of it. While I say go, of course, go to Token Log and vote a little bit right now as soon as you can, but save some voting power for the debates. Because Mitch made an amazing post here. Well, it was of course, a collaboration between me, Mitch, Nate, and and a few other people, I think. Also, Wonka came in, and Vitor is helping add some charts, and Katie's going to take it and make it a blog post. So, but at the end of this, there are this is a great post to compare each proposal. Membership ratio. Yeah, what does that mean? What does it mean if one has a high membership ratio, one has a low? What does it mean? And it's less about it's a little bit about what it means, but really just a great opportunity to look at everything side by side and be informed about, okay, what does the rage quit percent really look like, against the proposals. But at the end, there's all these debate parties, and there's going to be more, I'm sure, than what is listed here. Especially for Monday and Tuesday, Monday and maybe even Sunday. So check this forum post for today and probably the blog post that's going to come up soon. And you can just click this Google Calendar link, and if everything goes well, it will autofill, and you can put it on your own personal calendar really easily. So please come to the debate party. Democracy is okay, but educated democracy is fantastic. And this is the first time that participatory economics has ever happened. So let's do it right. And let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, that's pretty much it for Params. Hopefully we can see lots of action, get lots of voters. Tell your friends, tell as many people that you know who have C-Stack tokens or impact hours, and get them involved. And with that, I'll pass it to Sam in the Common Swarm.
Thank you, Griff. Okay, so the things that are going on this week, we have been preparing this plan for launching the final test hatch. We are already a little bit delayed, but because the contracts are not yet on review, but I think that more or less it's going to be able to follow. The things that we have been doing with comms is we are preparing with them the text that goes to the front end, the hatch page. And also a very good news from OneHive. We have been collaborating with them, so they already have the gardens, the first MVP, the first version of gardens for launching on today and tomorrow. And it is not so different than the normal honeypot or OneHive. The only difference here is that from now on, anyone can create a OneHive for themselves. And Giveth is one of the first gardens that will be there. Also, there is a new thing that you can bring your own token, so you can stake and vote using conviction voting with the token that you choose, and then give the funds on the token on that specific token. So it is going to be live on RingTV. And on top of that, we can prepare the commons template. So it was a fundamental part for us to keep working on commons. And this is why we were also very interested in working with them in order to have that milestone. I pass it to the spotlight. Who is this week?
Yeah, so we have Mike Gilliland from Future Thinkers podcast. He is working on a project called Tokenized Smart Village, and I will pass it to you, Mike.
Hey, can you guys hear me all right?
Yep, we can.
Okay, cool. Hi, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
Griff, we interviewed Vitalik way back when you guys were first starting.
The Ethereum launch.
And I think you were in the background of that original interview. It was right before you guys launched.
I think you guys were in the same office and you were kind of making comments in the background, if I recall
Yeah, in
correctly.
fact, disrupting the podcast. Thank you. thank you guys for giving us the chance to come chat with you and show you our project. We're not really like technically savvy people when it comes to crypto, but we have been participating in the space, and we're very, very much interested in decentralized organizations. We're starting a village in British Columbia, and
In Canada.
yeah. And okay, I need to figure out how to share my screen here. All right. Does that work? Okay, cool.
Looks good.
All right. So I don't know how much you want to present here, but you can kind of start us off.
Sure. Well, so the core idea is that the way that human civilization is built right now is not only unsustainable, it's also not healthy, it's extractive, it's got a lot of problems, you know, with centralization of power. And we want to create a living lab for civilization redesign to test and prototype ways that we could live that are more sustainable, more decentralized, more in line with how nature works.
So yeah, this is what we're going to cover. I'm probably going to have to skip through this quick because this presentation is designed for a little bit more time. So Evie and I have had the Future Thinkers podcast since 2013. We've interviewed quite a number of people in the space of blockchain and cryptocurrency, but we've also covered civilization redesign. You know, we've interviewed Vitalik, obviously. Jordan Peterson was another one. A lot of people having to do with regenerative civilization redesign.
Complex systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the intention here, again, is to create a living lab for regenerative civilization redesign. There are a lot of factors this year that are coming into play to make this type of project a lot more feasible. You know, Starlink internet in rural locations, the unaffordability of housing, and the fact that people are having to move into RVs and tiny homes just to afford their own place.
Remote work is booming.
Yeah, regenerative agriculture is this new, you know, permaculture. I know you guys have actually discussed it a lot because I checked out some of your previous calls, so I won't bore you with details you're already familiar with. I'm going to skip through some of this stuff here. There are a lot of benefits of smart villages to individuals living in this type of environment, but also to the region because it regenerates soil with the type of farming that is done in these areas. And then it's also good for the world because it relocalizes a lot of production, deals with climate change, and makes people generally happy, which makes people less likely to engage in conflict, which is another thing we're seeing all over the world. Smart villages have these 8 core pillars. I'm not going to dive into this too deep, but whole systems design, integrated community, innovation like maker spaces and hackathons and regenerative innovation labs, economy redesign, which is basically where we're coming in with you guys, permaculture, autonomous transportation, housing, affordable housing that's carbon negative and uses local sustainable materials, and then the obvious one, energy, using decentralized microgrids and renewable energy sources. So we have a property kind of lined up here. We've taken in some investment. This place is actually a golf course, kind of funnily enough, but we're not golfers. The plan eventually might be to kind of take over the golf course and turn it into more accommodation. So it's a beautiful property. It's 400 acres. There's already an existing RV parking area, so we actually can accommodate quite a large number of people right off the bat as soon as we start this thing. We've got about half the money that we need. One of our investors is guaranteed the rest, but doesn't want to have to do that. So we're basically launching a kind of a public crowd sale for the remainder of the investment needed. It's a $2 million property Canadian, which is actually a crazy good deal. So I'm gonna skip past this here. All these slides, I'll share the link with you too if I'm moving too fast. So yeah, 400 acres.
Maybe let's skip through this just
Yeah, sure.
because we don't have time.
Yeah. So this idea with like scaling up smart villages is really kind of capping villages at the Dunbar limit, which is the number of people that any person can really, like, a number of relationships any person can really manage. So we might have pods of villages throughout the actual property because it's 400 acres. It's tons of space to have potentially up to 20 of these little pods of villages of 150 people. So we'd like to do multiple experiments and kind of split test villages and have different systems running in each of these micro villages.
Yeah, try different governance systems, different consensus making mechanisms, different kinds of specializations.
Something we've started doing is collecting courses from all over the internet to do with working online or building regenerative homes or whole systems design, maker spaces, hands-on stuff, as well as online like sovereignty kind of work where you can work location independently. So we've been collecting this library of courses that we plan to both give away and offer to municipalities that accept smart villages in their location.
Some of the alternative buildings that we're planning to experiment with, we really want to try stuff because the way that buildings have been built since basically World War II is not only unsustainable, it's also really impractical, and they don't last very long. They're really energy inefficient. So we want to experiment with earth strips and earthen homes and adobe, geodesic domes, tiny houses, cabins, just different kinds of buildings, and figure out what works in that bioregion. Food production is a big part of this too, and yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of regenerative agriculture of all sorts. And as well as a lot of shared facilities. So one of the things that we realized is that right now, most people in the West live in the house where like everything is packed into their house and everything is atomized. Instead, we could have shared community facilities, and then people just have small living quarters, which makes it a lot more efficient and also brings that community feeling, warmth, camaraderie that is really missing from kind of Western cities.
These are all more shared resources. All the infrastructure component can be decentralized, and then you can pay. Maybe it's microtransactions for use of all these facilities, or maybe it's just a membership or something like that. We have to figure out how to pay back the investment. Our timeline is really based off of kind of fiat traditional investing, but we've recently kind of been planning an NFT launch, which could speed this whole thing along. So I'll just skip that. Yubi's kind of rushing me here.
Well, we just really don't have time, and this presentation is very long.
So we have ways that partners can come in. A big part of what we want to do is policy change with governments, because the reason there aren't thousands of these villages all over the world is that governments are really in the way. Zoning policies are ancient. Permitting is time-consuming, very inflexible, and preferences stick buildings and unsustainable building materials. So there's a lot of work to be done in kind of policy change, and that's something we're going to be focused on. So this is the part that's, I think, a lot more relevant, is the NFTs. We're going to be creating a token called V2V, which stands for Village to Village, and it's basically a meme. It's not like this is going to be a global token for other villages, but basically it's a meme that is meant to convey the idea that villages can produce a lot of what bioregions need, and that there can be like an excess of production.
And the trick to this is that these villages have to be connected to each other digitally and have to share knowledge and what works and what doesn't.
So the idea here, we have to fund the remaining amount of investment required to buy this property. So this is the first token we're going to release, and every other future token is dependent on us selling enough of this one. And for every one of these tokens sold, we're going to plant a tree or a hemp plant on the property, which will be then converted into basically building blocks for the future houses using hempcrete and stuff like that. So we will actually do future NFT drops when your hemp plant has been converted into a brick that goes into one of the buildings. So there's going to be all kinds of sort of future drops that come along with this. You get access to, being able to stay on the property. We're going to have a DAO to be able to make decisions on what is done with the property and how revenue is shared. And a lot of the learnings will be shared within a kind of a learning portal or a private community that NFT holders get access to.
And the idea is to open source a lot of the stuff eventually, but kind of the first initial kind of unpolished learnings will go through this group, and this group will participate in polishing those learnings and kind of figuring out what's useful to share with the world and what's not.
Yeah. So again, each B2B token is an NFT, it's a vote, it's an access key, and it's a badge. I can kind of get into that a little more later. But so we're going to release.
Maybe before we get too far, because there's only a few minutes left, maybe people have questions and I want to we have this opportunity. Would that be okay?
Sure. Yeah, I actually
know-
have just one
Yeah.
more thing I want to show. So we've got all these accommodations, right? We want to crowdfund some of the bigger kind of dwellings and group, like kind of community, like
Community buildings.
buildings. And we had this idea. We're kind of joking around and laughing about Dogecoin the other day and how ridiculous it is that people have invested in this. And we're like, we need to do something stupid and silly. So let's do one of the NFTs as a tarp on a stick. Basically, you can like literally go to the property and stay under a tarp held up by a stick. And what we thought we would do is make it just stupid expensive and donate all of the proceeds from it to homeless shelters. So we want to do kind of little funny, gag things like this that actually have social good elements to them. Yeah, if you want the deluxe version, it would have 2 sticks. So awesome. Anyway, that's it. I'll just wrap it up here.
Cool. I'm just curious exactly how you would imagine working with the Token Engineering Commons, especially like what value you think you could bring to the token engineering space, like public good space of token engineering.
Yeah, well, a lot of the stuff that we want to do, we want it to be templatable that can scale to other people building villages, and we're part of a network of other people doing similar things around the world, kind of more localized. But the templating is very interesting to us because I don't think this thing scales as like you're going to replicate this exact village 1,000 times all over the world. That's how we did it before, and I don't think that's a good idea. But there are certain aspects that are scalable by being templated. So, for example, we're looking at doing a revenue share smart contracts where people can crowdfund a building and then get paid part of the revenue. And so this kind of thing could scale and other villages in the world can use it. So yeah, we're very interested in, or like how, this tarp on a stick idea, other villages can do similar social good projects that are crowdfunded through NFTs.
We actually just recently had a good couple of conversations with Jeff Emmett and have discussed bonding curves and ways to do fundraising for social good projects. So, I mean, our eyes have really just been opened recently to the opportunities in this space. And so we're just kind of opening it up. If people have ideas, this can really just be your kind of testing ground if you want to implement something and actually see what your work is doing in a real environment.
Yeah, we want to be a lab for these kinds of experiments, and we want to develop a whole token ecosystem. So we would love to work with somebody like you guys to develop that and open source it so that other villages can use it.
Perfect.
I would just, quick suggestion for you guys to connect with Magenta from Bloom Network, because now in the ecosystem value flows and the TE Academy, we're working on her project that it's exactly that part of connecting multiple eco villages or sustainable villages that have like a path in between them that is that values can be exchanged. So it would be interesting. I think she is deeper also in looking into that.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys, and we're at the top of the hour. Thank you so much for the extended spotlight. Super cool project. We're very happy to have you on and enlighten us about the magic that you're working on behind the scenes. Right now we have a Gravity working group weekly meeting, so definitely come to that. We're going to be talking about the impact hours and how we're and also lots of other cool stuff. So definitely come to the Gravity call. And right after the Gravity call is a Hatch Parameter debate call hosted by Mitch. I think, right, Mitch? Where is Mitch? Oh, he left, but he'll be hosting it. And so definitely come.
I'm right here.
There he is. Oh yeah, I was looking for your icon. You're hosting this one, right?
Yeah, after the Gravity call.
Yeah, so come on, bring your favorite, come on and debate. Let's debate about which of these parameter sets should we choose? What economy do we really want? And this is what democracy looks like, right? So let's pass. Well then I'll just see you guys at Gravity.